So without further ado, I will hand it over to Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Let me own at the outset how nervous I am to attempt to present my perspective in just 15 minutes. But I'll do the best I can. And we begin with victim. Victim, wow. So that's an incredibly emotionally charged word, carries a lot of baggage. The word victim is found in the dictionary. It is a legitimate concept. It is also a very toxic concept. And to internalize victim as an identity or so, to internalize victim as a belief, internal belief system of who I am or what I am is emotionally self-fulfilling. And we can see what this ownership of victim, this insistence of a woman's insistence that she takes a kind of primary ownership of victim. We can see what that has done to women in the women's movement. So that will be, so talking about victim in all its various permutations will be the subject of my talk. All right, so let's begin. Yes, I will assert that it is clear women are more loved and elicit more empathy, caring, concern, compassion. It is this power, this greater power to elicit empathy that raises only female concerns to the level of major societal concerns. I will assert that there is an instinctual basis for this. I'm not saying that it's not enculturated, but I will, according to my own research, suggest that there is an instinctual basis for this, that it is primal, it is archetypal, and it probably cannot be undone. So what does that mean then? Does that mean that men must always be the losers in all this because women are more loved? No. As an equalist, I see gender reality as mirrored. And what's the mirror opposite of this instinct to love women more than men? Well, I believe it is the instinct to respect men more than women. Now, the average MRA out there will already be screaming and yelling, no, men have never been respected, and blah, blah, blah. But, and I will certainly allow that feminism has done everything in its immense power to destroy respect for men. But I will suggest, even so, that the impulse to respect men, to seek male leadership, to seek male authority, that also is based in instinct, that it too is primal and archetypal. And I will suggest that it runs deeper than the current rhetoric, deeper than the current misandry. It is deeply important for men to believe that, not only because it's true, but also because it is the way forward. If men will just take a completely negative view of themselves and their heritage as nothing but cannon fodder, then men are truly doomed. But if men will invest in the truth that it is we men that have always been the leaders and still can be, and look to Jordan Peterson as a kind of exemplar for that. What does he do? He dons a suit and tie and works it. He works as masculine. He does not succumb to shame. We must not succumb to shame. All right. Now, I will suggest that the source of all our gender political woes is our gender belief system. It is believing that men have the power and women are the victims. As a commentator of Dr. Hines says, you know, what can we do? How do we sell the facts of our male victimization. Well, I'll go into more depth about that, but first, it's so difficult, so complex. But first, I will suggest that believing that men have the power and women are the victims is the source of all our gender political woes. It's from there we go immediately to man bad, over empowered, oppressor, victimizer, and woman good, innocent victim. And from there we go right to that justice is served by punishing and taking power away from man bad, the over empowered, oppressor, victimizer, and justice is served by rewarding and extra protecting and extra advantaging woman good, the innocent victim. And one of the many things I would have the men's movement understand is that so long as this male power, female victimization paradigm remains dominant, the dominant gender belief system, the outcomes, what happens as a result of that belief are inevitable. All right. So I would have the men's movement focus on this gender belief system as the source of our problems, our source of our woes. And I would plead for understanding that this same gender belief system adversely affects women just as much. That with this belief system, women are inculcated and profoundly internalized this idea that women are the powerless victims in all things. So the victimization of women that feminism perpetrates begins with a withhold of accountability. If women truly are powerless, then women are truly innocent and not responsible for anything. So it begins with a withhold of accountability, which is a withhold of respect. It's a withhold of an understanding of woman as equal partner in the human system, equally responsible for outcomes, which is to understand woman as an adult as compared to feminism's understanding of women essentially as children. Feminism would have women believe that there's a boogeyman hiding behind every bush ready to jump on and attack them, which is terrifying. In every way, feminism instills in women incredible emotional poison. Rage, rancor, resentment, victim, vengeance, vindictiveness, self-righteousness, poison, all of it. And it also would have women reject their biology, reject their feminine essence, reject marriage, which limits women's immersion into roles and realms in which many women are at their happiest. So it's no wonder that every measure of female happiness has plummeted in recent decades, and all over the world, the most feminist cultures produce the least happy women. Now, what this means is that this feminist men have the power, women are the victims ideology is catastrophic all around. It has done incredible damage to intersex relations, social fabric. It has been horrendous. In that there is an opportunity, exactly because this belief system has been such a disaster all around. It leaves men's movement with an opportunity to present something better. And what will this new narrative be? What will this improved narrative be? Will it be women have the power and men are the victims? No. No. That is no step forward. What would it be? Well, you're not going to want to hear it. It is anathema. It is rejected everywhere in gender politics. Nevertheless, the road forward, the constructive, sustainable reduction of the battle of the sexes and the damage that goes with it, repair of the social fabric, all of it begins with woman and man shaking hands and calling it even. Everything really positive, everything that's really makes the world a better place begins with woman and man calling it even. That's what I mean by it all balances out. Men more respected but less loved, woman more loved but less respected. We can judge this gender system any way we choose, but the main thing to understand about it is that it is and has always been essentially balanced. And that woman and man co-created this gender system in co-equal co-partnership. Equal partners in creating it, ratifying it, maintaining it, engaging in it. Because out of this deal, each sex got what it wanted most, but that's a rabbit hole we don't have time to go down. What's important to understand is that in the benefits enjoyed and the liabilities suffered, in the power and the victimization, the freedoms, the constraints, the joys, the sorrows, the good and the bad, light and shadow, it all balances out between woman and man, and it always has. Another absolutely essential thing to understand is that this, it all balances out, is not an end point. It is a new beginning. It is a place to start over. Another essential thing to understand about this, it all balances out, is that it is fatal to feminism. That everything feminism is and everything feminism does, its absolute foundation is the belief that men have the power, women are the victims. And therefore, justice is served by punishing and taking power from man bad, the over-empowered oppressor victimizer, and extra rewarding and advantaging and supporting woman good, the innocent victim. You take away that male power, female victimization paradigm, and feminism crumbles like a house of cards, because it's what it is. Feminism is based on a lie. So on the one hand, feminism is all powerful. And on the other hand, feminism is extremely vulnerable. It could all collapse like a house of cards, because it's based on the lie that men have the power and women are the victims. Now, as a commentator asked the question of Dr. Hines, how can we present the facts and truths of male victimization in a manner that is palatable, in a manner that society in general can hear? And I will suggest that the way to do that is to present the facts and truths as seen from a politicized male perspective, as those facts and truths that go on the other end of the balance beam. In so doing, we would present the facts and truths of male victimization not as an end in itself, but rather as a means to an end. And that end being the understanding that it all balances out. And How do we sell it? By demonstrating how that belief system is essentially is the solution. Normally, wars are ended when one side defeats the other, but in the case of the battle of the sexes, when one sex wins, both sexes lose. We're intertwined. It isn't possible for one sex to win. The women's movement isn't winning. It's poisoning its constituency of women. It is destroying the world of women. All right, where am I at? So I'm already out of time.
You're near, Tim. You're near.
There's so much to say. So all right, I'll try and sum it up. The win position for the men's movement, or what I will call an equalist movement, okay, which would include both men and women. An equalist movement is to go with this concept that it all balances out. The concept, I can hear your eyes rolling from here, but really, what women and men have suffered, so the history really, it's come out about even. And the power also has come out about even. Woman is equal partner in the human system, equally responsible for outcomes. These are the bedrock gender truths through which a movement that could truly transform our world and get us what we want, gender politically. Those truths, those have the power to do that. And simply going on about men's victimization, so long as the men's movement conveys or suggests the idea that the goal is to oust woman from victimhood center seat just so man will sit there instead, the general public, the powers that be, will not accept that. We have to take leadership, and we have to do so wisely. And that means presenting something better. All right. I invite you to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks.